welcome to today's video. So today we are going to be watching a celebrity home tour. Now the title of this video is Shay and Chad's home tour, LA apartment tour. Shay Mitchel is this amazing entrepreneur, actress who I aspire to be like. We're going to see the inside of her friend Chad's apartment. Now I don't know too much about Chad, but I am very excited to see the inside of his place, so let's get started. Come on in.
Excuse me?
Okay, fine.
Welcome to Chad's place.
Okay, so we're 10 seconds in and they show like just a few snippets, which I'm sure they'll show more. Right off the bat, they have first off a like Greek sculpture of a head, which I love. I love that so much. It's like I love anything that you would see in a museum, so that is so fun. Then they also show two vases that have such a fun like shape to them, so I really like those. They also show this chair, which I have been obsessed with all types of round furniture or any furniture that's playing with shape. And these chairs I would love to have in my own home. I think they look like comfortable, but also so stylish.
This is the entrance foyer that brings you into the kitchen almost immediately.
Please just cut to this one little section because he has mandarins growing on a branch.
One thing that I love in California is that a lot of backyards will have lemon trees, orange trees, and it's just so beautiful. I also love olive trees. There's something about, I mean, obviously having your own fruit in your own yard is so fun, but I also just love the beauty of it. So the fact that he brought that inside is so cool.
Where's this table from?
The flea market. I got this for $500, including delivery.
We love a designer who shops at the flea market. It's one thing to shop and order everything from West Elm and CB2 and all of the big stores. You cannot replicate the things that you find at flea markets, and we love a designer who shops there.
They go for probably like $1,500.
Talk about the bottom bit too.
It's kind of like loft style living. I always put like bar accessories, and these bar stools are postmodern from a vintage store.
Okay, so I don't love that. I get that he was trying to make an island, which a really great tip if you guys have a smaller kitchen and you have the space, you can like purchase a fake island to add more counter space, which I love that he did that. I think it would have been much better if they had a concealed island. You still get all of the benefits and you also don't have to worry about everyone seeing your mess. I think that exposed shelving can be really great for specific beautiful pieces, but this just looks like a mess to me.
What is the idea for your space?
I love to bring in things that you wouldn't think go and kind of make sense of them, and I love to make things look expensive that were actually really cheap.
The thing that I love about what you do is you take all of these incredible pieces that you found and you make them make sense, whereas I've just kind of designed the whole room and bought it all at once.
I think when you design a home based on a trend, it's not you. You see it and you're like, I love that. And I'm like, but have you lived in it? You should design a home how you're gonna live in it as well.
So what he says right there, when you shop for your home off of trends, then it's not you. We talked about that last week in the TikTok trends video. If you haven't watched that, I'll link it here for you. But he's so right. When you shop, you want to find things that speak to you, that inspire you, that make you happy to look at, so that your home is a collection of pieces that are you, instead of just shopping off of trends or off of what you saw in a magazine, because then you don't have your personality. So that is so important, and as much as you want it to be styled perfectly, you also want it to tell a story and to represent who you are. It's your home. It's where you spend all your free time.
Gallery wall. Where have you collected these? How did you lay this out?
I want to put things that are like inspiring and sexy and a vibe. This was probably one of my first pieces I bought at the Melrose Flea Market.
This little light, you can buy it off Amazon.
If you're gonna do it, do not do an LED.
Oh my gosh, last week we talked about the LEDs. No, that focal light is perfect. It really shines onto the art and enhances it, whereas the LED kind of can take away from that. We're gonna talk all about lighting in next week's video, but lighting is so important. Please stop with the LEDs, especially to focus on art. Just not the right vibe.
This piece is a speaker as well as it is a little credenza.
You use it as a speaker?
Always. I found this at an HD Buttercup sale. It's probably like $5,000 and I got it for like $2,000 maybe.
Okay, so first off, that credenza with the speaker in it is so cool, so unique. I haven't seen anything specifically like that, so that's such a cool find. Unique pieces really makes a unique home. I love on top of that how he has this tray with a bunch of varying candlesticks, and I don't know what those like pointy things are, but it plays the height. I think it would have been better just to do all candles. I don't know what those things are, but it's unique. They're sculptural, they're very cool. I love a good candelabra, especially playing with so many, so I like that little touch. I don't love the light, but maybe that's a personal preference. There's just so many styles going on here that the candelabras with this modern sculptural light is just, I feel like, playing off of two different eras, along with all of the other things he's got going on here. But, you know, to each his own.
So let's just talk about this for a moment. I used to love colorful floral arrangements, and then Chad came in and was like, no, we're gonna do like solid colors and a lot of branches.
Also, like a fun fact, bushes and things like this are a lot cheaper than flowers.
I love this big plant, big pot, big plant, very full. A tip for you if you're gonna do plants, get ones that are easy to take care of, but also get ones that are very full and lush. Now remember, plants are alive and they grow, so sometimes they look good for a little while and then they overgrow. But if that's the case, you can always trim. But you want your plant to look very lively and full and plush and beautiful, like it's thriving. Also, when you're shopping for your plants, make sure that you know where you're going to put it, because different plants need different amounts of sunlight. So if you're going to put something directly next to the window like he did, you want to make sure that you're getting a plant that likes direct sun, versus if you're putting it in the corner far away from the light, you'll then have to get a different type of plant for that scenario.
I get a lot of compliments on this little floating
Yeah,
credenza.
tell me where you got this
And
bad
this
boy.
is not expensive, you guys.
Where's it
this
from?
is from IKEA.
Ooh!
But this is supposed to go this way, and it's shelves. It's for a bathroom.
I think what he said and what he did here is a great trick. He's like, it's a bookshelf that I turned on its side and I made it a floating credenza. I think that just really goes to show how we don't have to use furniture for its intended purposes, that we can get creative with it. We can use accent chairs as dining chairs, we can use bookshelves as TV stands. There's no specific rules on how each piece of furniture has to be used, and you can get creative with it. Maybe think outside of the box. If you're not happy with your current space, maybe look at what you have and see if there's any ways that you can turn it, flip it upside down, use it in some other way and repurpose it, because then you get something new and unique.
If you notice, I'm obsessed with circles. It's just like complete, it's organized. Structurally, I just love the feel of it.
Our little circular dining table. These chairs
I
are
love this
vintage,
little
right?
70s. The whole thing is vintage. I got this for the steal of a lifetime for a whopping $500.
Shut up!
I swear to God.
So we did a cowhide rug, which I love. However, we are going to talk about rug size and how important it is in a upcoming video. And I do think it seems like it's fine when all of these seats are closed, but if all of the seats were out with everybody sitting at the table, then I feel like it may be a little small for the space. I like that his chairs and his table match with their legs, and the chairs themselves look very comfortable. They're a little too squishy for me. Like, it looks a little too comfortable to eat, but maybe that's my own personal style. It's interesting though, because he has the 70s style table, and then also kind of, I feel like the credenza with the speaker could kind of also be in that 70s era, but the rest of the room is not that era, so he's just mixing so much. That's his own story and what speaks to him, so I think it works for him. Wouldn't be how I that wouldn't be how I would come in and design the space for him, but you know, when you're thrift shopping and you're shopping at flea markets and each piece has a story, then it becomes more about each piece than the room as a whole, and like making and loving every single thing in your house. So you know what? It tells his story.
This solid wood pedestal is from an estate sale. It's tucked away. It's like in their like garden foyer section.
I don't quite understand though, and they didn't talk about it, this white poof in front of the door. I don't know if it's an ottoman, like it's just really weird placing, and it's so low to the ground, like nobody would really go sit over there in front of the door, like it's not in the conversation area. It just seems very odd and like misplaced. I don't know.
We're going into my bedroom.
What I love about this is like you use these every other day.
Yeah.
And you made them look like art. in addition to the books, where are these from?
Amazon. Such a cheap little find, and I love longboarding.
So in his room, he hangs the skateboards on the wall, which I don't love in terms of design, but also he uses them every single day, like they said. So I think that that makes sense. You want your home to revolve around your lifestyle, so turning something you use daily into art is a great idea. Now, he has these bright colors, very modern, very fun. I think it's a fun way to add some color and personality. I think that there's could be a lot of personality incorporated to this, using different art and different books that speak to you and making a collage out of it is a kind of an elevated version of the picture wall we talked about in the TikTok video. So I like that.
It's interesting, it's weird, it's conversational, it gives off this cool little vibe.
We have this sculpture, kind of industrial, kind of very like artsy. This room kind of does seem like a museum as well, just a different type of museum than the one we saw in the living room with the gallery wall.
And it kind of accents these glass nightstands that I got, and I wanted to have something that was like faux chrome. You wouldn't expect them to be your side table. And then
so a lot of different elements playing in these side tables as well. So you can kind of see a theme throughout his house. He really did not put himself into a box of one style, but really just chose everything that spoke to him, and I think that for him it's his perfect space.
these sconces is a really thin burl wood. No one likes an overhead light.
The sconces are really unique that they're wood and they're so thin that you can still see light throughout them. That is a really, really cool idea and not something that I've seen, so I kind of really like those.
The room that is the realist.
Ta-da!
It's a little bit of a hoarder's paradise. This used to be my theater room, but then I started a business during quarantine and I sell vintage furniture, and this is my makeshift storage room.
Me, myself, I have gone down this avenue of selling vintage furniture, so makes sense, especially if you are an entrepreneur or start your own business. Dedicating a room of your space makes perfect sense, so good for him. We're out here trying to do it together with a passion for vintage furniture. I do like that he brought a curtain there because you still want to make your house feel inviting and warm and livable. If you do have a business or a kid or any type of mess, it's not that you want to like shame it and like hide it as a secret, but also like there's a time and place for that, and you may want to like have its own designated space. So I like that he put the curtains there just so that when he's not working, he can enjoy his space without having the stress or seeing the clutter of the work side of things. And with a kid, you want to have like a playroom or a designated space for their toys, just so that it doesn't overwhelm and take over your entire house.
This is Chad's space. I wanted to bring you guys into it because it is my happy place.
So those are my thoughts on Chad's house, and honestly, I feel like overall this is a great example of not having to put yourself in a box. Honestly, it doesn't matter if I would do it, if you would do it, if another designer would do it. All that matters is that everything in that home speaks to Chad and he feels good about it. I do think that like he had some of the key elements there. He had all of his necessities and important tasks and hit all the check marks on like how to design a room. He just really pushed the boundaries of what works together and what doesn't. I think he did a good job for his own personal style and it makes him really happy. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I hope that after watching last week's video and this week's video that you yourself decide to lean away from trends and find pieces that really speak to you specifically to make your house your own. With that said, I hope that you guys enjoyed hearing my thoughts and watching this video with me. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and hit subscribe down below to see more of me. And don't forget about that bell icon to get notified every time I post. We have lots of interior design content here. As always, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!